quick fact about me. I am a software developer. So quick fact about me. I am a software developer and most of my time is spending coding. I joined Annual Toastmasters around 2 years back. But initially I could not understand how it's helping me grow, especially my professional life. But I continued being over here because I genuinely enjoy being here. But recently I have realized its importance. In the month of March this year, I have organized International Women's Day at my office. In the month of April, I have organized Industrial Town Hall at my office. And in the month of May, I have cracked job interviews, not because of my technical skills, but because of my communication and presentation skills built over here. So with this, I learned a very important lesson. Even though we don't realize the importance of Toastmasters initially, but you enjoy being here, so you should stick with it. Over time, you will realize its importance. With this, I like to start with the guest introduction. So all the guests, please raise your hands. Okay. We'll start with this order. We have to say 3 things: your name, your profession, and how did you come to know about this?
Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Sathagir. I'm from Mumbai. My profession is I'm a student. I'm going to take admission from my first year in the next month. I've also know about Toastmasters from a fellow friend of mine. I'm here with my 2 friends. So I'm looking forward to improve my communication skills and stage here for the future.
Okay, you can introduce yourself.
My name is Rishi. I'm a chartered accountant. I work for a oil and gas agency. And I'm here to do my learning experience. I recently shifted from Gurgaon to Mumbai. And I'm really enjoying it.
Yes, please.
Very fish oriented. Myself, Krishna. Currently, I'm pursuing my degree in BTech in artificial intelligence and data science. And I got to know about Toastmasters through my brother, Krishna.
Please. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vishnu Marathe. So I am from Mumbai, Kenya. I am a business development associate in Bari Parsons. I look after the ANZ region. So I got to know about the Toastmasters club from my one of the seniors.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sankeet Khan. I have recently graduated in computer science engineering from Mumbai, and I want to know about from my friend.
Let us have a
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sneha Suman. I am a third-year civil engineering student from NIT Bhopal. I am originally from Patna, Bihar, and currently I am doing my internship at Reliance in Mumbai. And along with this, I want to learn new things, but when it comes to speaking, I feel a little bit nervous and less confident. So that's the main reason I am here.
That's the reason we all are here. Yes, sir. You are here.
So my name is Iqbal Khan. I am also an IT professional and I stay in Sanfara. I came to know about Toastmaster from ChatGPT. So my purpose of coming here is for
fear of public speaking, so I want to overcome that. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. My name is Yasko. I am the chemistry OABC. I am from the group of David Navi. And I came here to improve my education and
Let us have
Hi all, my name is Gayatri Shetty. I'm an HR professional with 10 plus years of experience. My primary reason to be over here is so primarily the reason for me being here is to definitely get the spotlight fear out of me and to be a good communicator and also to hold my presentation skill. I got to know about Toastmasters skill because of my husband just a week back. Like he was very important.
My name is Bhaskar. This is my second session. The reference I got from my friend, and I have heard about this Toastmaster thing back. I'm very impressed with the last session, especially the improv session. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. I live in Toastmasters. I'm very professional working I'm aspiring in my organization. I offer services. Now I know about this and then I can learn about where I can improve my skills.
Excuse me, Satya, please get it. I am Like it's lucky, guys. Today we are speech marathon. So today we have speech marathon. We will not have favorite topic segments, but I request all the guests to enjoy the speeches. We have lined up of very interesting speeches which I hope everyone will enjoy. So now let's start with let's move on to another segment of our meeting. So let us welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rashmi.
A very, very good evening to everyone. So glad to have so many guests today. I hope you all have a very good evening. So the theme for today is facing fears. So before we start with the theme, I would want to say a short story. So the story goes like the Sultan of Dubai once decided to set on for a sea voyage. That's how the whole theme is the Sultan's history. So he had his own set of courtesans, his group or his gang in the court. And he said that let's set on a sea voyage with that group. So they were very excited and the day also began very beautifully. The sky was very blue, the sea was very set like a giant sleeping. Very, very excited everyone was. Except one courtesan, a nobleman with a very high profession named Zian. He held on to the wooden plank, the border of the ship, very tightly and he didn't speak anything. He was very quiet and suddenly, as the sea started going deep into the waters, he suddenly just started crying. He started howling and he said that this ship would drown, it would take all of us inside. I am so scared, I just don't want to start this, I want to go out on the shore. He began howling, he began to cry. No matter what kind of consolation people started giving him, they started just calming him down, they started composing him. No words of wisdom helped. So the journey that began with so much excitement for everyone suddenly started becoming irritating for everyone. Because just imagine that someone is howling, someone is crying, someone is sitting in the corner of the ship saying that I don't want to be in this, I just want to get out. The king, who was very excited for this adventure journey, suddenly just had a thought that should we just cut this short midway, should we return it to the shore. So the entire atmosphere on the ship changed because of this one man. Zian did not eat for 2 days. He just kept in a corner, wailing, howling sometimes, crying sometimes. Things didn't change. Suddenly, another nobleman on the ship named Idris. He was an old man, white beard, white hair, showed that he had years of experience with it. He went to the king and he said, Sultan, if you don't mind, if you give me a free hand to handle this thing, don't ask me how, don't ask me why, I can try to calm him down. The Sultan said, it's all yours. If you do that, I will be rewarding you very pricely. So he said, okay. He goes onto the ship where Zian is seated and he says, the other men, please throw him into the water. Everyone was shocked. This man just being on the ship is howling, what is he talking? So he said, this is Sultan's command, you have to throw him into the water. So the men pick him up and throw him into the water. Now this man, for him, all this fear that he had for the last 2 days was imaginary in his head. Suddenly when he is thrown into the water, everything is a reality now. He is just trying to struggle, staying in the water. He did everything, he's crying, his eyes are like, what am I seeing? What am I experiencing? This went on for quite some time. And then Idris said that pull Zian back onto the ship. Now this man, for the last 2 days, who was howling when he was back onto the ship, was very calm. This ship, which seemed like a danger zone for him for the last 2 days, is now the safe place for him to be. He just held the same wooden thing that he was held in the beginning, the day one. He held onto it and he just thought to himself, God, I am safe. The days after that was a changed thing for Idris. He was very calm, he sat with everyone, he enjoyed food. He was happy and everyone was happy. So the voyage completed, they all came back to the shore. Sultan somehow wanted to just speak to Idris. So he said that, Idris, how do you know that throwing this man who was so scared of being in the ship, throwing him deep into the water, would make him a calm man? So Idris said that experience, this is what I did. And this is what I did with my heart. I loved my wife so much that I wanted to hold her. And I held her so tight that I just didn't let her go. I questioned her, I didn't let her go meet anyone. She was just supposed to be sitting at home before me. And then what happened? She left me. And that's when I realized that the things that we hold so close to, the things that we fear of losing, sometimes leads us to a danger. So he said that when I changed myself, fortunately my wife also came back, and that's how I learned that there are few things that you fear of, then actually that's not a fear, that's everything imaginary in your head. So coming back to the theme for today, fear, facing fear. What is fear? Can someone just answer? What is fear according to you? Anyone?
Something very wrong.
Sorry, the first word was?
Worriness of something.
Worriness of going wrong. Yeah, something going wrong.
Something we don't want to do because of that anxiety.
Correct.
Something we feel we can't cope with.
We can't cope.
Saving mechanism. Saving mechanism to reduce the
Yes. Can you ask me? Sorry, saving mechanism.
saving mechanism which your body initiates when he sees some danger.
Okay.
When there's a pop-up on your mobile that your battery is about to die.
That's what is happening.
There are two things. One is fear and one is danger.
Okay.
Fear is something, some sort of mental bubble that is in your mind.
Okay.
Getting lost certain something, fear losing certain something, that fear of losing
No,
something.
anything.
I mean to get embarrassed or something, to change your life or something,
Okay.
that fear.
Okay.
Change.
So, out of all these things, when I was actually preparing for this theme market, I've done some theory on fear. But some of the articles or some of the videos that I have seen, they show that fear is nothing. And that I think is so foolish of someone to say. Fear is there, right? We all experience fear. How can they say that fear is not there? But according to us, fear. So I was listening to an article by Mel Collins. She's an author, an American author. So she rightly put it as fear is a state of mind. True, it's a state of mind. So fear and happiness, do you know, is related? Because it says that fear is a state of mind and a physical state, both mental and physical state of mind. So your body has the same conditions or shows the same symptoms when you are happy and when you are scared. Funny, isn't it? Because happiness is something that you say, I'm so happy, I have other symptoms, but fearful, I'm scared, shows other symptoms. Your physical symptoms are the same. So what are the symptoms when you show when you're happy? Your heart is pounding, you have butterflies in your stomach, your cortisol is very high, you are sometimes shivering when you have too much of happiness, you don't know how to react. Similar thing happens when you are scared. You are going on the speech, like it would be happening with the speakers, you have butterflies in your stomach, you don't know what you're going to say on the stage, you are shivering sometimes, you are sweating sometimes, and your cortisol is high, so same physical state. Now, what happens is during your happiness, your mind is saying, I am excited. But when you are fearful or when you are scared, it says, no, I can't do this. Or you shouldn't be doing this, Rashmi, because this will lead you to danger. And the mind plays a game with me. It says that you can't do this. And that's it. I wouldn't really do that. Fear can be of different types, right? People can have fear of climbing onto a plane. People can have fear of climbing onto a ship. I had a fear of climbing onto this stage and giving speech. Some people have a fear of having a discussion with your boss. But if you're fearful of these discussions, we all are at loss. For instance, if someone is fearing of climbing onto a plane, you would never experience beautiful things, or you would never experience or meet people who are far off from your place. People who are fearful of coming onto this stage and having a public speaking done would never experience the joy of giving a speech onto the stage and when everyone applauds for you over there. People who are fearful of having a discussion with your manager and telling them the work that you have done are at loss of monetary things and also the appreciation that you demand. So all these fear, if you overcome, you're always at profit. Okay. So today's theme, today's meeting, we will just learn small things that I have learned from Mel Collins' video, that how did she overcome fear? What are her techniques of overcoming the fear? Before that, we will start with today's meeting. This table topic or this Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 segments. Okay? The first segment is where we will give the prepared speeches. The mid segment, which is generally the table topics session which is not happening today, and the third will be the general evaluation. So in general evaluation, there will be an evaluator who will be evaluating the entire meeting. So before we start with the prepared speech, I would want to call up my team who would be helping me with the smooth sailing of today's meeting. So may I please have the timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Isha.
Toastmaster today, fellow Toastmaster and guests. I am the timer of the day. As a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, paper topics, and evaluations. For prepared speech, the time allotted varies as per the project and it is stated by the evaluator. We do not have paper topics today, and for evaluation, the time allotted is 25 minutes. Speakers must meet the specified time limit to qualify for the awards at the end of the meeting. I will display the green screen at the minimum qualifying time, the yellow screen at the midpoint of the qualifying time reached, and the red screen at the maximum qualifying time till the end of the speech. For prepared speech and evaluation, the speaker has 30 seconds grace before the minimum qualifying time and after the maximum qualifying time. All speakers who continue to speak beyond 30 seconds grace will not qualify for the award. I will report the time taken by the speaker when called upon. Thank you and over to you.
Can I please have the counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster tables?
Such tasty khichdi. Really enjoying it. It's a stone in my khichdi. I want all of you to think of a time when you were enjoying your favorite dish. Really tasty food. But then imagine a stone comes in your mouth. Not so good. That is what filler words are like. You can have a really great speech, but you can then have a stone come into your mouth. And then maybe take a great speech to good speech. A good speech to an okay speech. Ensuring you don't have filler words doesn't mean you are the best speaker in the world. It just ensures you are not taking down the 10% with filler words. My goal as the R counter is to help you all understand how many of these filler stones are coming in your mouth as you speak. One category of filler stones are what I term as BAWS5, BAWS5. But, and, well, so, and you know. Right? BAWS5. That's how I remember it. Second category are the R's, ums, ers. Then you have the I repeats, and finally you have the pauses, short pauses and long pauses which are unnecessary. At the end of the meeting, I will be called upon the stage where I will help you understand how many of these filler stones came in your mouth as you spoke. Thank you and over to you.
Can I please ask the grammarian for today's Toastmaster Jesse to come on stage?
And I am the grammarian for today. So, as the grammarian, I am responsible for attentive listening to all these speakers as well as whoever comes on the stage. And I will be noticing if there is any improper use of language as well as good usages, like say somebody using a good quote or a saying or a thought. So these will be noted, and at the end of it, I will be giving a report of the same when called upon. So for today, we have the word of the day, equanimity. Equanimity means being calm under stress. So, for example, what you can say is that all the attendees had equanimity even if there was a lot of chaos in the meeting. The phrase of the day is cross an arm and a leg. So this is something like whenever you want to express or say something is very expensive. So this is a fun way of saying something is very expensive. Like an operation at Fortis would cost you an arm and a leg. So especially if it's very expensive. So all the speakers are encouraged to use this when they are here on the stage. Thank you.
Can I please ask the quiz master for today's evening quiz master questions?
Hi all. So we are Toastmasters of the day, my fellow Toastmasters and your guests. My name is Ruchi Negi. I'm quiz master for today's meeting. And being a quiz master, my role is to listen each and every word being said during the meeting and ask the questions at the end of the meeting that I will be asked for the quiz master of the day. This role actually gives us an opportunity to test our listening skill, how attentive we are. So try all the best so that next time when I come to the stage, I can see many and most of the hands raised for the answers. Thank you.
With this, we start with the prepared speeches. So the first speaker for today is Toastmaster Aditya. Before I call him on the stage, can I please have his evaluator, DVM Sangita, to explain his speech objectives and his speech technique.
Good evening, friends. Today, Toastmaster Aditya is going to deliver his ice-breaking speech, part-1 Engineering Humor, Labor Run, Project Run. And the title of his speech is Conversation, Faith and Courage. Panel, please note the time is 46 minutes. And the purpose of this project is to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking.
And I welcome Toastmaster Aditya on the stage. Toastmaster Aditya, courage conversation, Toastmaster Aditya.
Is everyone comfortable in the room? Yes. Well, I'm really stressed out. But if I'm being honest, I have experience to perform under pressure. For example, at the age of 3, I ended up giving a full-blown Sangeet performance in front of 30 random people who weren't interested in listening it. We were really trying to catch their sleep in an overnight flight. I was fearless back then, but as I grew up and as I kept on thinking about how the world perceives me, I started to become a bit nervous and my confidence definitely took a hit. But here I am, going through this gut-wrenching process. Everyone is staring at me, and if I'm being honest, my heartbeat is faster than how it is on like this. But okay, this icebreaker speech is going to be different. It's going to be me talking about 3 values which I really prefer or I believe in, and along with those, a few stories which make me be. On to the first value, which is going to be kindness. So I have this really fun habit of analyzing how a person speaks whenever I am having a conversation. I usually notice things like how are they speaking, what is their tonality, what is their body language telling about themselves. And I think this started when I was in the 5th grade, when I met this really cool uncle. The one and the only time I had met him, he asked me to introduce myself in English, and frankly, I was really nervous, like I am now. But even though I was nervous, I started off on a very confident note, and I started off with I Aditya, followed with a lot of fumbling. There was so much fumbling that even the R counter would have flagged the red flag to me if he was there. But at the end of it, the uncle just smiled at me. He shook my hand and he looked at my father saying, "Your son spoke well." that is the day I loved the idea of kindness, or I started to believe in the idea of kindness. I started to adore people who are able to speak well, who are able to speak in a very smooth manner, and who make others feel heard and feel important. Kindness has definitely helped me in being a really good or above average active listener. But kindness alone is not going to make sure that we are striking up a conversation. For that, the second value comes under the plate, which is courage. Courage of initiating conversations with strangers. If I'm being honest, for the longest time, I really struggled with the idea of putting myself out there because I didn't want to be in an awkward situation. Talking about being awkward, I remember my first table topic speech. I had promised myself that I would be raising my hand no matter what. The table topic master naturally invited me over and gave me the easiest topic out there. But the moment I stood on this stage and looked at everyone as I'm looking at right now, my brain froze completely, and naturally I wasn't able to think of anything. I attempted a really cool joke, or a joke which was supposed to make me look cool, but that did not land well, and I was welcomed with pin drop silence, and that was really brutal. But since the last few months, I have been practicing the idea of implementing my own table topics in my personal life. I have been doing this by making sure that I am talking to strangers, or as many strangers, at least the ones who I find interesting, and initiating conversations with them. And frankly, this has panned out well for me. I have talked with multiple people from completely different professions like, DJs, pilots, air hostesses, CEOs, CFOs, even for that matter, entrepreneurs. And even though each of the conversations was really bad, pathetic, and uncomfortable, it has definitely taught me quite a few things. And confidence is something which has definitely taken a slight improvement because of that activity. Kindness and courage are really important, but nothing would stick if there is no consistency in them, which is why that is what my third value is. A few months back, in December, my colleague ended up inviting me for a morning run, and we started off with the first morning run I went through. In the first 2 minutes, I was really tired. I was done with the whole process, and I did not like it at all. I had decided that I am not going to continue this, but he kept on insisting, and I kept on going. Something which was supposed to happen only once happened 3 times a week for the next 3 to 4 months. And yeah, it was definitely a lot of learning there. There were quite a few milestones like running alongside with my father for the first time, as in running the 5K alongside my father. Other than that, watching the sunrise every single day. But the best achievement was maybe realizing that how my stamina had improved over time. I definitely, there was a lot of learning, and for a person whose stamina was really bad, bumping it up to average was a really big feat for me. So, at the start of the conversation or the speech, I talked about how I am not feeling comfortable here. If I'm being honest, I'm still not feeling comfortable. But maybe that's okay. Maybe this anxiety is basically telling me that I am maybe somewhere between who I was and who I want to be. Toastmaster is definitely going to be one of the activities which I would be doing, which should help me, avenues which should help me to improve these 3 important values, which is speaking to people in a kinder manner, making sure that I have the courage to initiate conversations, and doing this on a consistent basis. And I am going to fail, I am going to falter. That's not a surprise. But even if I do, that's okay. Because if a 5th grader who was really bad at English can introduce himself in a confident manner, so can this grown man. Thank you.
would be writing the feedback on the sheet provided to you. Does everyone have that sheet? Does everyone have 7 of them? So after every speech, we would write the feedback on it. I'll give you a minute to write that. Does anyone need a pen?
Many of us.
Very good.
खत्म हो गया
We can share.
Yeah,
We can share.
yeah, we need 7 feedback forms, everyone. So you would need more of it. More 15 seconds to go for writing the first feedback form. We call the next speaker for today Toastmaster Kalpana. For that I will call her evaluator, Toastmaster Rohdas, to explain her speaker techniques.
Good evening, everyone. My target speaker for the day is Toastmaster Kalpana. She would be delivering her level 1 project 1 speech from the persuasive influence pathway. The purpose of the speech is introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speaking. All the best, Toastmaster Kalpana. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Can I please have Toastmaster Kalpana on the stage? Toastmaster Kalpana in the hands of club, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, and Happy New Year. You will hear the Happy New Year. This is what I get on my birthday. Yes, I was born on the 31st December of December, so it's very obvious to many people when they are celebrating, they just wish me Happy New Year rather than Happy Birthday. It's good. It's good to have many wishes. Okay, even the world is wishing us. I was born on 31st and on the same day my dad also brought a lottery ticket. It was 10 rupees lottery ticket. It was a small amount, but just he thought I should try something and he won it. And on that day I was being labeled as lucky. But I think this is me and my dad who both together as a duo stand as a lucky. And this is how a lucky person behaves. My father was in a transferable job, so we moved from one place to another place. But then eventually we settled down at Nagpur. I completed my schooling at there. I have 2 elder siblings, and both were not so good in school days, but now they outshine me, and I am the black sheep of the house. You can't imagine how lucky I am that even with 75% you can be a class topper, which is hard to imagine now. But even with 75% I was a class topper. So my schooling was okay and everything. As a teenager I never thought what I should become. And at that time I was thinking my father will decide my career, and that was okay for me. So he said, "Chalo beta, let's do a medical entrance." I thought it's okay. Everybody is giving, I should also give. I gave the exam as an ender, and my chances were very slim because we are not a studying foolish person. But to my surprise, I went for a counselling, and the second day there was a counselling roll number of mine. I got into a BMSc, and I thought this is because my father is there and he is the lucky charm for me. And wherever I go, I should take him with me. So I completed my graduation. Then I came to Pune for some work. I worked in various hospitals, and my peers were those who inspired me to pursue for further study. I went for a post-graduation course in TISS. So at that time, PISS, they have an orientation program where you can just go and give some more tests and get to know how the exam process is. And I failed in all the mock exams. I could not clear my essay writing, my interviews, my debate was pathetic. So I just thought maybe because my dad is not here, it's happening. I'm not able to clear anything. So I just called him to get us a motivation. But instead of getting a motivation, I got a big scolding. And I started crying. I went to my room. My other classmate was also crying. So we thought it's okay to be, this is a big institution, it's not necessary to get into. But then we thought we should pull our socks and start working. We both worked together, we practiced debates, we wrote so many essays, did a mock interview ourselves, and we cleared the exam. We both cleared the exam. The post-graduation was also very smooth, everything was going as per the plan, and I was like, I will get a good, at least at a good stage of my journey. But in the third semester, there came a news when I was sitting nicely in my internship that the Lehman Brothers had collapsed. The economy was collapsing, and so was my future. The fourth semester, which brought the placements, I was the lowest in all the places. I could not get a better placement at that time. And I thought, just because my dad is not with me, I'm not able to clear my exam. But I landed him in a very pathetic placement. But then I thought I should go with my father for all the interviews. And I went with him for all the interviews, and it's easy for me to get into the interviews and get the new jobs. Then I got engaged. And as a lovely couple, we thought we should go somewhere, and we decided to come to Mumbai and visit somewhere. But I missed my train returning back. And that day, I thought my good luck charm is over. So married life was ups and downs. My husband, who was working in Nagpur, was transferred to Washington. Washington is a dot-com area, if you know. It's a very small where you could not find a single W as well. So I thought it's okay, life is as it is. Then within 6 months he got laid off as well. I think this is going in a very hell way. But then I got pregnant, and I thought maybe my daughter will bring all my luck back. And it happened so. When my daughter was born, my husband got placed, we had exams, and we shifted to Mumbai. And that day my husband said, my daughter is lucky. I thought this is a vicious circle that is happening again. The daughter duo will work, and my daughter will become again lazy like me. Throughout my life, I lived under the umbrella of my father, where his care, his luck, everything helped me. And I became so lazy that I didn't study at all. I didn't work any hard. I just stopped. I thought it's okay. And this has eventually led me to a very lazy person. But now I don't want my daughter to be the same person. And hence I thought I should move ahead. I should work more. Luck can give you many things, but hard work and perseverance is what requires more. Thank you.
The next speaker will we give you 1 minute to complete the feedback form. So the third speaker for today is Toastmaster Asha. Before we call her on the stage, we call her evaluator Toastmaster Ishwar to take us through her speech objectives.
Toastmasters and guests, with a past vessel in me this evening, I'm going to be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Arsha Rai. And she's attending level 1, project 2. And the purpose of this project is writing a speech with purpose. So, time devoted for the speech is around 5 to 7 minutes. I wish her all the luck. Thank you.
Can we please have the third speaker for today, Toastmaster Arsha, on the stage? Toastmaster Arsha, the power of small action. The power of small actions, Toastmaster Arsha.
So have you ever wondered how legends are made or how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things? So good evening fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, my name is Arsha Rai and today I am going to share my thought on the path of greatness, which is not the brilliance that matter most, it's all about taking consistent everyday some step toward your bigger vision. So we all admire legendary figures who inspired, innovate or leave a lasting mark on the history. But what often goes unnoticed is how these legends are made. It's not through any one grand moment of brilliance, but through small, consistent action towards your bigger vision. So let's take it, or before that, I would like to understand, as we all are present here with some or other vision, so what are the habits which we incorporate in our daily life? It could be anything like attending Toastmasters meeting regularly, or it could be writing a journal daily, or even reading a chapter of a book. It may seem insignificant initially, but over time it can be accumulated into something very, very powerful. Even a couple of studies shows that any action, if done consistently or practiced consistently, can transform us in a remarkable way. So let's take example of some legendary figure whose consistent action have left an enduring impact on society, maybe whether through their invention, ideas or communication. So I would like to pick a couple of items which have inspired me a lot in my career. So first I would like to go with the Thomas Edison life journey. So we all know Thomas Edison, right? He invented electric light bulb. We all know to him because of his numerous ground-breaking inventions. And it's also documented that he unsuccessfully he attempted unsuccessfully 1,000 attempts before he invented electric light bulb. So have you given any thought if he would have given up after the 10th or 100th attempt, where we would have been today? Maybe we would be attending Toastmaster candlelight meeting. I don't know whether that is a scary or fancy concept, but I'm pretty sure that won't be working as impactful as our concept is working today. So what we have learned from Thomas Edison's journey, he never waited for any grand movement. He was taking small steps, doing consistent adjustment toward his invention, and that's how he gave us the electric bulb. Now I would like to shed some light on the journey of Walt Disney. Again, most of us are the fan of Walt Disney, right? He is the synonym of the creativity. But he had a lot of setback in his early career. His first animation studio was shut down. Even people told him he lacked creativity, but he never gave up, right? He had a vision of creating a place where families can come together and experience happiness and wonder. And that is the reason he never gave up after getting the feedback from the people around us. He was very determined and he prepared the strategy how he can reach towards this bigger vision. So he created short films, he built theme parks, and eventually he expanded into the television, and that's how he became legendary. Again, with the journey of Walt Disney, we can understand he didn't wait for any one moment, right? He was very specific about his strategy and he was following those strategies until he was end. Now at the end, I would like to talk about my favorite personality, which is the Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah was born into the poverty, faced discrimination, and in her early career he faced a lot of struggle. He was not getting any job in her early career, but yet she became one of the most influential women on the earth, right? How that doesn't just her, you can say, brilliance, or that doesn't her talent. It was each consistent effort that she took against each setback, or you can say the discouragement which she received from the people around her. She was very clear about her vision. She don't want to interview all fancy people. She had a clear idea, and that's how she worked. She took the interview of the diverse background people. She educated them and she promoted and discussed about their personality development. And even she convinced her audience about to reflect her actual life, authenticity of their life. And every step of opera strategy toward her main goal includes a vision of authenticity, connection, and the empowerment. And that's how the opera, became the opera. She became the legendary lady of the empire. So may I ask the question, what we understood and what we can summarize from all these legendary people? Anyone can help her, what we understood about anyone?
These are positive.
Yes, very well said. Anyone else would like to give an input about their journey?
Failure is key to success.
Yes, great. So, the path of greatness is really about the movement of the brilliance, right? It's about the consistency, it's about the perseverance, and it's all about just taking small steps toward, which is aligned toward your end goal, right? So, whether would you like to become an artist, politician, engineer, doctor, or a speaker, the key to success is keep going, keep taking steps. So now I would like to conclude my speech with a very simple and beautiful quote that success doesn't come from a thing which we do occasionally, it comes from what we do consistently with a constructive feedback, and that is aligned with the vision.
We raise up and we applaud only for the first speech in the club. Rest of the speeches is consistency for it. So with this, we come to the fourth speaker, Toastmaster Sandhya, and for that I will call her evaluate, and we give 1 minute before that for the speaker and performance. With this, I call the fourth evaluator for today, Toastmaster Raghav, to take us through Toastmaster Sandhya's speech objectives.
Dear fellow Toastmaster and guests, Toastmaster Sandhya is attempting level 1 project 2 of pathway visionary communication. The objective of the project is to construct writing a speech with purpose. The speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. Finally, is now. All the best to Toastmaster Sandhya, and over to you, Toastmaster.
May I have the fourth speaker for today, Toastmaster Sandhya, on the stage. Toastmaster Sandhya, scroll, stop, so. Scroll, stop, so. Toastmaster Sandhya.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Have you ever checked your phone just for one message and then suddenly you started watching a video, some random videos where goats are doing yoga, some strangers are dancing on a rooftop? How many of you have done that? So have I. This was my life few months back. Scrolling was like a breathing for me. It was automatic, invisible, and constant. But later I realized it was suffocating my time and my energy. This all started for me during pandemic. which was back in 2020. So this started for me during pandemic, which was back in 2020. I just used to take my phone, open Insta and check reels. Then go back to YouTube Shorts and start watching some random videos. With that, I didn't even realize that how 5 minutes became 55 minutes. I decided, okay, I should stop doing all this. And because I realized that I was moving away from myself, boredom and my goal. So one night at 8 p.m. I decided to just read a book on self-help. So it was 8 p.m. in the night. I just took a book, just opened it, and I got a message from Lydia. Guess what was it? I got a message from her. I clicked on it, I laughed, and then I scrolled. I was like, what am I doing? I thought I should give this up. But then, I didn't even realize it was 11 p.m. in the night. I just wasted my 3 hours. And then, I was so disappointed, I went back to sleep. I was fully grateful. Few months later, I got a message from my manager. His name was Atul. He called me. Okay, Sandhya, let's catch up for one-on-one. I said, okay. So I just asked him, what is the reason for calling me? He said, okay, we are going to discuss about your career goals. I went on a meeting with him. It was an online meeting. So we discussed about our goals and he asked, and I told him, see Atul, I am not getting time. I am so overloaded with work. What should I do? I am not upskilling, not learning anything. He's like, okay, are you sure you're overloaded with work? I said, yes. He's like, I thought you automated all your daily things. I did so, but can I ask you one question? I was like, yeah, okay. Can you open your phone and just check the screen time? I was resisting to that, but then I just showed it to him, and it was 5 hours, guys, just spending my time on social media. So he just looked at me and smiled. He told me, Sandhya, you are not out of time, but you are out of focus. With that sentence hit me hard like a brick. I just thought, okay, I am giving up my life and time to this stupid algorithm. I should stop doing that. The same day, I decided I should log out from my Instagram account. Created a folder for YouTube that says do not open. And then, few days, my thumbs were just going, and then my fingers were just going back and searching for those apps. I said no, I should not do it. My inner voice was like, I should not do it, stop doing it. Then there came a silence. With silence, I learned about clarity. So with this clarity, I thought, okay, I should, instead of watching all the stupid reels, I should start reading a book. Instead of watching others talk, you should write about your thoughts in a journal. I did that. In a month, I completed 3 books. Later on, I also took up a course on communication skills. I also wrote a speech, and today, here I am delivering my speech. With that, so this was so wonderful, and with this, I mean, the action which I took, I thought, okay, I am doing a great job. I have control on myself. So one thing I learned from this story is that scrolling isn't bad, social media isn't evil, but mindlessly doing this can get you trapped. So whenever you guys feel like you are not able to upskill yourself and just showing yourself as you are very busy, just ask 2 questions. What are you learning? And what could you be instead? With that, I would like to give you this message: scroll, stop, and sow. Thank you.
We now call our fifth evaluator, Toastmaster Ajay, to take us through Toastmaster Shubham's speech objectives.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My target speaker, Shubham Bankar, is going for his level 1 project 3 of the pathway presentation mastery. The purpose of this project is to introduction of vocal variety and body language. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish you all the best.
Toastmaster Shubham, the fifth speaker for today. Can you please start Toastmaster Shubham, Art of Happiness, Toastmaster Shubham.
There is a school in Nagpur, Achilles Convent. When I was in 3rd standard, one teacher asked us, 7-8-year-old kids, what is it that you want to become? Someone said engineer, someone said doctor, traffic police. Someone said pilot, someone said military officer. I said I want to be a painter. There was one guy sitting in front of me. He was taking a long time for answering that question. So teacher asked, child, what is it that taking you so long? Tell me, what is it that you want to become when you grow up? That child replied, Miss, when I grow up, I want to become this. No, I want to become very happy. Teacher was shocked. I was sitting beside him. I was thinking, doesn't look like he understood the question right. But now, when I look back, I have realized that I was the one who doesn't understood the answer, the life right. I mean, what is the ultimate goal of all the goals? It is to be happy, right? Happiness is the ultimate goal. Ladies, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and all respected guests. Let me ask you something. How many of you have seen the movie Gajani? Oh, so many of you. Now let me ask you, how long that happiness lasts after watching that movie? 2 days, 3 days, couple of hours, right? Now let me ask you another question. How many of you have thought, if I get this promotion, I will be happy. If I buy this car, I will be happy. If I have 2 KSK, I will be very happy. Let's say you have achieved it. Now how long that happiness will last? Maybe a couple of weeks, right? I also used to think like, if I have this much score, if I have this much salary, I will be very happy. Later on, after a lot of experimenting, I have realized that happiness is not a destination. It is an art. It is a practice. Let me take you back a few years. When I had a perfect, wonderful company, I used to visit internationally every month. Less work, lot of time in my hand. Once, when I was in Oman, in a hotel, in a luxury hotel, in AC room, desert view, with a free coffee, I was looking around and thought, whoa, I have achieved everything. But then, after some time, I felt empty. I have asked myself, I have reached the destination I have decided when I was in college. Where is my happiness? Then that's when I have started noticing people and observing people. And I have observed that lot of happy people are not the most successful or most rich people. They are just the people who try to be more happy, try to live their life to the fullest. So, that's how I have become scientist of happiness. So what I have learned is lesson 1, gratitude. I have started writing 3 things that I am thankful for every night. It may be some small thing like got a seat in local train crowding. Maybe some big thing like completing a safety project. It may be anything. After writing that gratitude, my focus from what I lacked to what I had have shifted. Second thing I have learned, stop comparing. While operating social media, especially Instagram, I was thinking that lot of people are happy than me. I mean, everyone are getting engaged and having going to some fun trip and all those things. But then I realized no one actually posts their hardships or their bad times. So I just put it off. I mean, seriously, you might think that why I'm not improving if you comparing yourself with some ace people, right? However, if you keep working hard on your skill, after 1-2 years when you look back to your past version, you will be able to find the differences in you. So now I compare myself with the me from yesterday. Third, start to doing things that give you happiness. For me, it's like playing with cats or kittens or reading manhwas. Fantasy comics where main character gets reincarnated with superpower. It might seem funny, but it gives me immense fun and delight and joy. Okay, and these small joy are actually the brush strokes of the painting of your happiness. So friends, happiness is not something that requires a lot of money or fame. It is something that requires your focus on your current one for today. I mean, if you feel down sometimes, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I can do today to enjoy myself? It may be some listening to music or doing some bhajan kirtanas or going to some club or just calling a friend. It can be anything, doesn't need to be so much grand. Because happiness is not a grand picture. It is a collection of all tiny colorful strokes. And the main part, you are the artist. I mean, you are painting with lots of joy, with lots of laughter and lots of love. And best thing, you don't have to wait for tomorrow. You can do it today. You can do it now. And the main thing, yes, happiness is not something that is outside. It is something that is in you. So, thank you. And,
A minute of silence to write feedback to Toastmasters. May we have Toastmaster Rajesh to take us through the speech objectives to Toastmaster Padmapani. This is.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My speaker is Toastmaster Padmapani. His pathway is presentation mastery, level 2 project 2. This project is effective body language. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice and refine how they use non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. The time limit, timer is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Guys, a humble request. Please applaud when the speaker is coming on the stage and going. That's the highest motivation you can ever use. May we please welcome the sixth speaker for today, Toastmaster Padma. Toastmaster Padma, Rang Barsi with a twist. Rang Barsi with a twist. Toastmaster Padma.
They say time flies, but memories last forever. Today, I would like to share memory from my college days, an unforgettable Holi celebration. It was age before skin-friendly or organic colors. Back then, we used anything and everything available, whether it is made for skin or paint the walls. On a holy day, we painted each other into random rainbow-colored phantoms, unimaginable, and we decided to take a ride through the city. It was seen straight out of Bollywood movie. 20 of us, 10 bikes, 10 riders, 10 billion devils, including me. We are singing movie songs. Ding dong, a baby sing song. Suddenly, police van appeared. We are completely unaware that large gatherings are not allowed on streets. Police were stamped our colorful convoy. I immediately sensed the danger, got up from the bike and sprinted like Usain Bolt, reached a safe distance and observed some of my friends getting police baton treatment. Unfortunately, my roommate too, who was my rider, got a solid walk on his leg and started limping. After some time, we reached our usual hangout place, a small restaurant. Some were gobbling, some were winking in pain, and few like me, they were trying to show a serious face. Hotel owner uncle affectionately offered a bhang. Initially we were skeptical, curious, but finally we began and we drank the bhang. Hotel owner told us, drink it, nothing will happen. So nothing happened. Can anyone tell what happens after drinking bhang?
Nothing happens.
So uncontrollable laughter. Some immediately become singers, professional singers. Some get hallucinations. And some become philosophers. But believe me, nothing happened to me. After some time, bruised, tired, and still somewhat sticky, we reached our rooms. Me and my roommate, suddenly my roommate burst into laughter. I knew the effect of bhang, but nothing happened to me. And then, surprisingly, Amitabh on picture frame started smiling at me. My roommate fully into Bollywood movie. Rang barse bhi gaye tu Nirvana. Amitabh smiled wider. Then me too joined the bandwagon, started singing Rang barse. I closed my eyes, locked into the rhythm. When I opened my eyes, Amitabh sitting beside me. My friend has replaced Amitabh into the breath. Amitabh near me. Amitabh too started singing. Before I could process this surreal moment, I heard a knock on the door. Confidently I went. Opened the door. There stood Prince Rekha. I politely said, Rekha, please come inside. Rekha, you nutcase, I'm your landlady. Why are you causing chaos? Behind me, Amitabh. And he literally dragged me. Rekha banged the door and left. One thing I observed, Amitabh is also limping. Now I am completely baffled. Rekha, our landlady, Amitabh limping. I asked Amitabh, Amitabh ji, why are you limping? Amitabh ji, because of you, police beat me. I was completely confused. How can police beat Amitabh because of me? It was unbearable. My brain threw in the towel and I drifted off to sleep. Morning, with a splash of water, I came to reality. I saw my friend is still living. Amitabh was there in the frame, still and motionless, and our landlady, who was definitely not Rekha, was yelling at us for causing chaos the previous night. The friends, one lesson I learned from this. Can you tell the lesson? Anyone? Never accept anything from anyone who says, drink it, nothing will happen. Because it may cost your leg or a hand. So, friends, our life is full of colorful memories. Some are vivid, some are wild, and some are absolutely bizarre. So, we should embrace them, we should celebrate them, laugh at them, and most importantly, share them. Thank you.
A minute of silence to complete the feedback form for Toastmasters. Anyone needs more feedback forms? You can hand over these feedback forms in the break if you need them or else at the end. We now call upon Toastmasters Sangeeta Shruti for taking us through the speech objectives for PTM today.
Toastmasters friends, namaskar.
Namaskar after a very long time. My target speaker today is Distinguished Toastmaster Vinay Srivastav. He is attempting the Level 2 Project 2 speech of the Pathway Dynamic Leadership. Timer to please note the timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The objective of the speech is to explore various communication styles and to realize and understand one's own communication style. All the best to my target speaker, Toastmaster.
Can we please have DTM Vinay on the stage, please? कहना क्या चाहते हो DTM Vinay?
Good evening to all my Toastmaster friends and the guests. I've been Toastmaster from almost 10 years now, and during this journey, I have heard many speeches which have left indelible mark on me, and many speeches which have made me to think whether I should continue in Toastmasters or leave Toastmasters. So it was around 2021 February when I was Program Quality Director for District 98, and we went to Jaipur for the district conference, and there I met a gentleman by the name of Ankur Yadav, who eventually went on to become District Director for District 41, and he addressed us. One very unique thing about his communication style was that in the room full of almost 80-90 people, everyone felt that he was speaking to him. There was a kind of personal touch, there was a kind of looking eye to eye, and everybody felt so connected with him. That was something which left such a great mark on me, and I have been trying to imbibe that in my speeches, in my communication. Another person who I will not name, in Agner many years ago, he was an HR professional, and you must have heard, sometimes there is a program out here and there are a lot of noise from Agner management. And suddenly the program started, and his speech was Project 6 in Competent Communication Manual of the traditional pathway, which was vocal variety. And he had prepared a speech in which he was supposed to speak at a very high voice and then slow it down. And suddenly there was a lot of band baja outside. And the worst thing that he could do was that he did not adapt himself to what was happening. Obviously, we were able to hear his high pitch, but when he was speaking low or when he was soft in speech, we could not understand anything. And his misfortune, his evaluator was DTM Ron, so he got a very good evaluation out of him, and that was the last speech that he gave in Toastmasters. After that he left the program. So why is communication important? And this speech or this module is all about understanding your communication style and giving a speech on it. Why is communication important? We'll come to the kinds of communication. But then there is a saying, you can take a horse to the pond, but you cannot make him drink. Why is this horse, why does this horse not drink? Because probably he does not understand you, whatever you are saying. Now, who is this horse in our life? Horse can be H, our home, everybody at home, O, office, R, relatives, S, superiors or subordinates whom we daily interact, E, practically everybody else. So we interact with these people, but they do not listen to you, primarily because maybe you are not able to connect with them, maybe they have some communication style and you are not able to understand, or you are not able to come to that level so that you can communicate with them. So let us stand kind of 3, 4, there are many styles, but 4 styles. One is direct communication. Now in direct communication, straightforward, sprite, सीधी बात, no bakwas. You must have heard the evaluations of DTM Ron. he will give you straight on the face, without mincing any words, short and sweet, directly. Vinay, your speech is bad, rubbish, go ahead, give another speech. Second is a kind of expressive speaker. Somebody like Vidya, who will keep on speaking. Her mouth speaks, her eyes speak, her nose speaks, her hand speaks, her hair, everything speaks in her. And in that, she forgets to listen. She does not listen to anybody. She does not allow anybody to speak. But she goes on speaking. But this is how you communicate your message. This is how you tell everybody what you want to say. Third is analytical, logical. Now this kind of speaker is going into data, facts, everything in detail. You must not have met, but there was a Toastmaster in our club, Jamie. And she was so detail oriented. You must have heard a song, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा जैसे खिलता गुलाब. Now हो क्या खिलता गुलाब? समझ गए क्या? जैसे शायर का ख्वाब, अभी समझ गए शायर का ख्वाब. And now you keep on going, and the entire song is about telling how the girl is so expressive. So if you have heard the song, you will understand the kind of details that I am talking about. And the final is relational speaker, relational communication. Somebody who will never say no, who will try to adjust. And one person who comes to my mind who was instrumental in my entry into Toastmasters and my entry into is Vivian Sangeeta. And she's one of those speakers. She never say no to anybody. I still remember 9 years ago when we were in XCOM and we used to have our speech slot, and somebody would come, I want to give a speech. I would, okay, you take my speech slot, you give the speech slot. So accommodating, she would never say no to anybody. So broadly, these are the kind of speakers if you will see. What I am is, basically I try to adapt. I try to adapt to this is over a period of time that I have developed myself to be. If there's somebody who is direct, I try to adapt and make sure that I am conversing him in that manner. There's somebody who is very expressive, I will listen to him and also, time by time advise him to also listen to others. And somebody who is relational, empathetic, I'll also advise him to be a little more direct, not to say no to others. And that's what the communication I have with Vivian Sangeeta, because she's so accommodative with everybody that at some point in time I really feel that people do take advantage of her goodness and they will get the speech slots, they will make her, and she will do everything in good faith. So my dear friends, in this particular understanding of speech style, what is important is not only giving, communicating something, expressing something. Whatever you are expressing yourself, it is understood by the other party or other person or whom you are addressing in the same way as you are trying to communicate. Thank you. That's all from my side.
A minute silence to complete the feedback forms for the minute. May I please call upon the timer, Toastmaster Isha, to give me the timing for prepared speeches. You can face the audience as well.
7 minutes 18 seconds. Kalpana, 6 minutes 14 seconds qualified. Arsha, 6 minutes 11 seconds qualified. India, 5 minutes also disqualified. Shubham, 7 minutes 17 disqualified. Navi, 7 minutes